The house of delusion is cheap to build, but it is very cold to live in. No one knows who to give credit for that quote, but it is very timely. Human beings seem to have an almost unlimited capacity to deceive themselves and to deceive themselves into taking their own lives for truth. R.D. Laing gave us that quote. Family, Karmelo Anthony has appealed his murder conviction and is now begging the state of Frisco, Texas, for another free public defender, saying that his family is now broke and destitute, indigent, after receiving almost $1.4 million in donations via Give, Send, Go and other crowdfunding platforms. Understand this. I am Brandon Tucker. Welcome back to Accountability. I told you guys, we sat here together. Let me put my headphones on. I told you guys, we sat here together right on this stream, and I told you, the family broke. They done spent all the money on spinning wheels, Hennessy, loose women, and Cadillacs. They done secured a $900,000 house, whether they rented it or bought it. And everybody told me I was lying. Everybody told me that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Some white boy got up here and was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And what if you had a stun gun and all this other stupid stuff? And I'm just like, in the black community, delusion is contagious, right? It always starts with one person or one family that introduces a totally nonsensical version of events that took place. And then it just spreads like a cancer. Karmelo Anthony took a knife to school. Well, he took a knife to a track meet. The boy was supposed to participate in the track meet. He was an athlete running in the track meet. In the morning, he made a decision to put a knife, a weapon, in his backpack. Took it with him to the track meet and ended up stabbing somebody in the chest for no real reason and being arrested and carted off to jail on charges of murder. Decisions made by this man led to his demise. His family, they don't seem like the type of family I would want to have. Totally abandoned Karmelo when it came to the legal proceedings and the events that followed the stabbing. But what they did do is they managed to spend every single penny of donation money that was sent for Karmelo's legal defense. And they left a seed. They planted a seed. They planted a seed of ignorance and stupidity where they said that their son was actually the victim, not the dead boy who laid up. They said their son is the victim. The living boy is the victim of racism and the constantly evolving system of oppression associated with white supremacy. That's what they told you. Now, I'm going to make quick work of this because this ain't nothing. This lightweight punk stuff. These folks told you their son was under attack by racists. You, black, blue, green, whatever you was, sent these folks hundreds of thousands of dollars. When they got your hundreds of thousands of dollars, they didn't take the money and use it like a sword to and body slam white supremacy up off of their back. They spent the money on Cadillac, spinning rims, loose women, Hennessy. Then went back and begged the same people they claim were white supremacists for a free lawyer that is appointed by and paid by the court. I rest my case. I could have beat Karmelo's ass in that case. These people felt the system against Karmelo was so racist that instead of using the money that you sent them to secure representation that wasn't racist, right? They blew the money and requested a paid appointed lawyer that would not only be paid by, but would also be appointed by the damn clan of Frisco, Texas. They pimped out their son. Somebody in the comments already said they sold his freedom for money. And he never had a chance. Now, while I think that Karmelo is an evil young boy whose soul is as black as night, I think he's a sociopath. If you really look at this boy's eyes and how his mood never changed, I really think they should have argued that he has something wrong with him. And I hope that his parents had the wisdom to get him tested to see if he was on the spectrum of autism. Well, let's be real, we're all on the spectrum. I hope they got him tested to see if he was on a spectrum if he was on a part of the spectrum that's far away from where I am on the spectrum, okay? I hope they did that for bro. They probably didn't. Because his mom's a damn Pukisha and his daddy looked like Steve Urkel mixed with what's that fool name? What's that fool name from I think he's from Hoover. The dude from, you know, the one with the from the No Jumper? The daddy looked just like this fool. It ain't Hawk. It's another one. It was Spody Face from Fody's, Baby Hawk or whatever is from Hoover, and it was another one who had the bifocals with the little whoopty, the little mohawk. I forgot that fool name, but he looks just like him, right? But anyway, the daddy looked like Steve Urkel or something, and he talked like he got something stuck in the side of his mouth, like he chewing tobacco or something. And I detected slowness when I was listening to these people be interviewed by CBS. I detected that these two were a bit touched. His mom, because of that weave, she was definitely giving, that's my man and I'm gonna stick beside him vibes. And the stepdaddy just looked like he was gone. Gumby. The daddy looked just like Gumby from Hoover. I think he's from Hoover. I don't know where he's from. But anyway, yeah, he looked dead like this dude. But let me tell you something. They took this boy money, they blew this boy money, and then they basically just left this boy out to dry. And what's worse is now that they've convicted him of murder and given him 35 years in prison, they are now trying to appeal, knowing that the appeal doesn't even have a snowball's chance in hell. But they are now begging for more money. They're begging for more money to mount another defense on the appeal. If you send these people money, man, just hold your face out here so I can slap the dog shit out of you. I'm tired of this mess. I'm tired of people being grifted by black people, even other black people, trying to support stories and hoaxes and narratives that we all know are false. You knew Karmelo didn't stand a chance in hell to get off. You knew it when you hit the send button when you sent these people your money. But maybe you fell so in love with degeneracy that you said, I gotta give him some money. Because I have a need for criminality, deviance, and skullduggery to prevail in not only the black community, but in every other community that it touches. And the white folks said, no. They was like, what's his face? Remember on Django? Remember when you went to that Big Daddy? Remember that? Oh, you know that little Peckerwood boy, right? You Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy, him. Treat him like you treat Jimmy. So you want me to treat him like white folk? Nah, I didn't say that. That's how the white folks parked Karmelo's ass like a Cadillac when his family thought that they was going to pull this, everybody racist bullshit and that it was going to get them out of a murder. Those days are gone. You are no longer beating murder charges on claims of racism and abject bias. I'm telling you, I don't know who's running the white delegation, But if you have not ginsued this damn claim of racism by now, what are you doing? There is no way you're calling me a racist while simultaneously asking me to appoint you a lawyer and pay for it. You don't hate to see it, Lost Al. You love to see it. Owl Gang, OVO. Anyway, I'm telling you, how you throw it up. I don't know how to throw it up. I don't do gay stuff, but I don't know how to throw it up. But look, there's no way. But they're still pushing this narrative. And then it's the worst part. Karmelo Anthony's family, his mom and his no good daddy, they talking about, oh, it's racism, but we want to appeal it. What is the point of appealing the conviction when you're maintaining the same mindset and attitude that you had that led up to bro being convicted and given 35 years in prison? I don't understand how people can have such a capacity for like victim blaming and then trying to transform them into the victim when they are the ones who committed the offense, in this case, the murder. I don't get it. This man, Karmelo, comes from a long line of degenerates all the way back to Satan himself. If we go in the Bible, right there in Genesis, Karmelo Anthony and his nappy head ass mama, right there in the book, I bet they name it. What's her name? Sharkeisha? I promise you, go back there. You will be able to identify the ain't shit nigga that those people descended from. I don't know what y'all doing out there in Baton Rouge, but y'all producing some ain't shit folks. This boy went to this school. This boy went to this town, which all the research I've done, this is a peaceful town. It's cool. People getting along. Ain't nobody tripping. And he just had to bring his Negro-like delinquents, Negro-esque delinquents to that town and murder somebody. I'm not saying Austin Metcalf was perfect, but he seemed like he was a pretty cool kid. He didn't seem like he was tripping. He seemed like he was just standing up for his school, standing up for his teammates. Hey, bro, you ain't supposed to be over here. Go ahead and leave. You go to school, they tell you, take charge. Be a leader, man. Take initiative. But they tell you that not knowing that there is a knife-wielding buffoon who's ready to cut you simply because he doesn't want to leave from up there under your tent. And I'm going to tell y'all something, and this is going to be an unpopular take. I think Karmelo was over there trying to steal. Your mama's a sellout. Son of a gun. Your mama's a sellout. Every time she buy that weave and plaster it to her scalp, selling us out. I believe Karmelo was over there stealing, y'all. I think he was over there trying to rifle through people's back. Rifle. Where do I just pull out these old white. I believe Karmelo was over there trying to rifle through people's belongings under that tent as they went out to do to compete in their respective events. That's what I believe happened. And even when the Bible say, by the testimony of two or more witnesses, let the truth be firmly established. Karmelo had 23 people. Karmelo had 23 and me, because I was calling that bastard a killer too. Karmelo had 23 people and me. 23 and me. Condemning his ass to the depths of Hades. And his family was still like, oh, this is all about racism. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Right? It was no win in the situation. And it's no good mama and daddy. He never had a chance. Yeah, they're right. He never had a chance. But they say he never had a chance in court. I'm saying he never had a chance from conception. As a fetus, this boy was fucked. I saw his mom sitting there. She just looked as batshit. And his daddy, he had that wide, crazy. He never had a chance. They told us to get a white lawyer. You don't understand. Where was Quanell X and all the other grifting black lawyers in Texas to represent this dude so he could lose even quicker? Do you want me to tell y'all something? Let me tell y'all something. The black grifting lawyers of Texas, and there are plenty, including but not limited to Jasmine Crockett, they purposely avoided this case because they knew it was a loss and they knew it would take away from the steam that they've built up as grifters and con artists. They left Karmelo out to dry. Because my thing is this: if you so bliggity, I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm bliggity, black, y'all. I can't even say it. I do not possess the nigga tongue. Okay, pause. Why didn't a team of black lawyers go represent that dude for free? Why didn't they all get together? Ben Crump, Quanell X, Jasmine Crockett. Why didn't she put a leash on her weave and drag it down to Frisco, Texas, and they all just represent this dude like an all-star team of black lawyers to at least try to intimidate these white folks into being like, we can give them a manslaughter. They don't care. They didn't give a damn. I'm telling you. And you can argue with me all you want to, and I'm telling you that go argue with your mother. Every black person in Texas knew that boy was guilty of sin. And it's okay if you knew he was guilty and you lied and tried to say he was innocent. My whole thing is this: why are y'all stressing us out over the shit? Why y'all got to keep creating a situation where we got to be stressed out because we don't want to go along with your lying ass story? Black folks need to learn how to leave other black people alone. Niggas need to learn how to leave regular black people alone. Let us do what we got to do. I got a whole pile of dirty clothes sitting in front of me that need to be washed. We have shit to do other than get on the internet and argue with y'all before y'all get yourself killed. And don't it feel like that? The niggas in the community, don't you ever had that one friend always trying to fight somebody? And it's cool because you like, that's my boy, I'm down with him, win, lose, or draw. But you ever been in a situation where you know it's gonna be an L? We have no chance of coming out of this alive, nigga. But you keep on trying to push the issue. That's niggas. That's the ignorance in the black community. We have no chance of winning in certain situations, and they're still talking shit. And you're just like, sit the fuck down somewhere. There's no way you're gonna win, Bonquisha, in project building number 227 on a damn government phone talking about we need a race war and we need to go to war with the white man. Shut the hell up. Somebody take her phone, go sit your ass down somewhere. That's how the ignorance in our community are acting right now. Look, even if you were to start a war, let's talk about black men. Even if you were to start a war, I think it's right here. It's greasy too. God damn, I was eating bacon earlier. Anyway, even if you start a war, right? You can only fight one enemy at a time. Black folks are simultaneously trying to start a war with white folks over Karmelo Anthony. They trying to start a war with Asians over this boy Cyrus Belton. They trying to start a war with the whole damn government over Iran just so we can feel like we doing something. Simultaneously trying to fight a war with the Jewish people because they want to take the side of the damn Palestinians in Gaza. Can you please do me a favor and pick a fucking struggle? You barely got 40 million people in this country, and half of them is old, and the other half is cracked out. I mean, the other quarter of them is cracked out, and we probably got about 25% of black people who actually can get up and go work a job in the morning. Reinforcements ain't coming no time soon because little Sally Sue and Hot Pussy Susie, they aborting their kids like it's going out of style. You got no reinforcements. You got no army. You got no money. You can't even feed yourself or produce your own clean water. You barely boycotted Target because I was in that bitch every day and saw black people in there sneaking on. This is just the reality. Y'all mad at me because I'm telling you the reality. 40 million niggas is going to fight white supremacy, 300 million. The Jews, unlimited resources. Asians who literally supply y'all badass kids with chicken and rice for $5 a plate because mama got to have a life too and want to be at the club every fucking night. Then you got to fight the Mexicans who, while you simultaneously vote for the politicians that are working to displace you with the Mexicans. Do you know what that's called? There's two terms for that. One is stupidity, the other is asymmetrical warfare done against you by other groups of people. Who you gonna fight? Who you gonna swing at first? You literally support the politicians who are working every day to displace you by flooding the country with millions upon millions of illegal immigrants, majority from South American countries, including but not limited to Mexico, which is in Central America. But it's all south to me because shit travels downhill. But that's not racist. That's not me being racist. That's me being funny. And even if you don't laugh, it still gets thrown upon the heap of comedic relief. So shut up. But anyway, guys, I'm telling you, black people got something wrong with them. I just hope y'all really not taking us serious right now. Like, we gonna say we want the smoke, but we're like Iran. We just got to keep talking shit even though we got no chance of winning. Iran is like, oh, you killed 50 of our people? Yes, we will exact vengeance upon America, and hellfire will be released from heaven on them. And they just saying that. They ain't got shit. They almost down to a slingshot in that bitch. But they gonna keep talking because that's what they do. They got to keep selling wolf tickets. They learned that from niggas. They learned that from us. We taught Iran how to be that way. So it only makes sense that we are the same way when it comes to any political warfare that we engage in. But what I keep telling y'all, here's the problem. We live in the age of the internet. See, back in the day, TV went off. So when niggas was running their mouth, they just cut the fucking TV off. And I ain't talking about the knob. TV literally went off. You couldn't watch TV at all at a certain point. We don't got that no more. So niggas got 24 hours a day to talk shit on the internet that they'll never back up. In the way we live in a media-driven society, they just keep taking everything we say and throwing it up on the internet. And I'm literally like, please stop throwing that shit up on the internet. Don't you understand that we don't mean none of that shit? Don't y'all get it that we ain't backing up none of that? They talking. The person, man, look, there was a girl online saying, oh man, yeah, I'm going to the shooting range. I'm going to a shooting range because, man, it's about to be a race war. I said, do you own a gun? You taking your own gun up there? No, but I could rent one when I'm there. So you're going to rent a gun at a shooting range, right? To practice your shot because you got to fight white supremacy. I would just want y'all to know how delusional that is. You don't even own a gun, but you're about to go to war. You got to understand that a lot of these people are touched in the mind. A lot of these people are touched in the mind. They mama smoked crack when they was in the womb and they came out talking and looking like regular people, but deep down in the base of their freaking cerebellum, it's a whole lot of funky shit going on that they can't explain, and neither can I. I'm just telling y'all, you cannot be listening to black people. You can't be taking our word at face value. When you hear us talking stuff, you need to go confirm, hey, is this somebody who is really capable of like rational thinking? And most of the time you will find that ain't the case. That ain't the case. It's just crazy to me. It's absolutely diabolical to me that these people is on here talking. It's crazy to me that these people is on here talking. But it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Let me see. Do I got this? Oh. Hey, y'all gotta check this out. This from another video I made. You guys gotta check this out. Hey, man, I did some of my best work yesterday when it came to video creation. I did some of my best work. Check me out. This black folks in a nutshell. Life I had to fight.
Oh, my life I had to fight.
Or at least that's how it felt growing up in the African American community, where many not only harbor, but display a blatant disregard for loss of human life, much in the way we are witnessing in the fallout or aftermath of the Karmelo Anthony trial for the murder of Austin Metcalf.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
Just like Karmelo was doing. You just said that. That's what Karmelo was doing.
Yeah, he murdered
Protecting himself.
Now, I want you guys to look at this. Does this look like a serious person to you? Does this look like a serious person to you? This is what I keep trying to tell y'all. Does that look like a serious person to you? Please do not take black people serious. Let us talk. Let us run our mouth. Let us talk. Let us run our mouth. Let the women folk go crazy. These are not serious people. These are cartoon characters. Somebody said they got soft when they seen her, but I bet you she go crazy though. Low key. I bet you she go crazy, bro. Hey, look. But these are not serious people, y'all. And I want other black or African American people to understand that before you get caught up in the vortex of hysteria. Y'all, theatrics. It's what we do well. That's why we good at dancing and shit. We good at putting on a show and getting people's attention. But that's where it ends. We get the attention, but we really never do anything positive or constructive with the attention. That's why you needed white folks to become black people managers in show business so that the white man could take what you do well, which is draw attention to yourself, and be able to market it and parlay that into some type of money, so into wealth, right? I'm just telling y'all, we cooking with fire tonight. You could be mad at me for saying it, but you know it's true. And that's my job. My job is to give you truth. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have the job of giving you truth, I'd be unemployed because I quit my job to commit to YouTube. So, guys, be sure to help us out by hitting the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. There are 247 of us in attendance here today. Please help us get 247 likes. And last but not least, if you are in a position to do so, please contribute to our stream. It's appreciated. All right, my boy Simp Police Academy is in the building. It was not one Asian on the Cho case. Oh, God. It wasn't. There wasn't a single Asian in the courtroom except for Rick Chow and his family, and he still managed to get off. So this whole thing where it's like, it's racism. Rick Chow had black lawyers, black jurors, and all that. So if it was all about race, why didn't those black people find Rick Chow guilty on his case? And I thank God that they didn't allow race to play a role in their decision and do something stupid that would have embarrassed us as a collective. Music Maniacs, you hear Jeff Metcalf go off. Will you review it? Yeah, we're going to talk about the Jeff Metcalf. I'm local to the situation. Yeah, we can. Hey, let's do this. If we hit our measly $5 super chat goal, I'm opening up the panel. You guys can come up here and we could chop it up about the Jeff Metcalf situation. Hey, because Jeff Metcalf went scorched earth. And I'm going to tell y'all, thank you for the $5. So we're already at 2, guys. We only need 3 more. But, oh, shoot, we at 3. We only need 2 more. Salute to the channel, my brother. Sucker Season LA. Go check out the website. Hey, bro, can you please post your website in the comments? or send it to me and I'll post it. Hey, Sucker Season LA got the best clothing in LA as far as I'm concerned. I'm trying to get them to do a special with a straight freak on the front of the shirt. But look, this dude was cooking. And I'm really glad that Jeff Metcalf, like I could tell just by the way Jeff Metcalf came off in his little rant, bro is not a racist, bro. He's just a dad who lost his son. He's pissed off. And it's really pissing him off even more that black people, particularly Carmelo Anthony's parents, are trying to play the victim. That would piss me off too. That would piss me off too. Because how are you going to kill my son and then tell me that I'm the bad guy? And he really cooked their ass, because on one part of it, he talked about how he went to the press conference to pray with these people. And they kicked him out of the press conference and didn't want to pray with him. And he said, I was told that I was somewhere I didn't belong. He said, and do you notice I got up and left and I didn't stab anybody? I said, shit. That was the mic drop right there. I got you, Sucker Season. I said that was the mic drop right there. Jeff Metcalf, a grown man, was able to do something without violence that Carmelo Anthony's family are trying to convince us could not be done. And that is to be asked to leave and leave peacefully. That was it. And when I saw that, I said, shit. I can't argue with that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't argue with it. Everything he said was facts. So look, I'm gonna let y'all hear in case y'all haven't heard. Jeff Metcalf's clapback. Hold on. And y'all could tell me what y'all think. Ooh, shit. That was an accident. She scared me. I accidentally clicked that. Damn. Hey, that lady looks freaking possessed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna make her my screensaver. Who needs an alarm? That'll wake my ass up if I catch a glimpse of it. All right, here we go.
Drew Anthony, Kayla, you're cowards. You wouldn't even show up for your son's sentencing or victim statement impact. You abandoned your kid. You left him there. I guess he's no more use to you because you can't get any more GoFundMe money or GoSendGo money. You are grifters.
Hey, so am I the only one who didn't know that? I didn't know that Carmelo Anthony's family didn't show up to his sentencing. All I heard was a bunch of idiots talking about they wouldn't even let the family go in to console Carmelo after he was sentenced to 35 years. Well, how are they going to console him when they weren't even there? And Jeff Metcalf was damn sure there.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You raised that child. And I swear to God, CPS to show them check on those other 3 that you still have. You never once admitted or took accountability. You tried to play victim. The real victim is the one who died, not the one who shoved a knife in his chest. I come to pray with you and show the world we can close the gap of this unbelievable racial divide. And what'd you do? You widen the gap even further. You hire a convicted, baby-shaking felon who's only in it for the money, who gives you bad advice, kicks me out of a press conference. Oh, funny, I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, but I left. When asked, I didn't stab anyone.
Man, listen, that's a mic drop. He should have said that in court. If I was the prosecution, I would have used that in court. Notice how the father went to the press conference. They rejected him, told him to leave. He didn't pull out a knife and start stabbing people, talking about touch me and see what happened. That was a mic drop moment right there. Thank goodness they didn't use it. He probably would have got 100 years or just life. But this is the truth. They abandoned their son. They probably was at a restaurant eating with that money that they raised while he's sitting there getting 35 years in prison. It's crazy, but tell me, as a black person, why is it not surprising me, though? Why does it not surprise me that they did that?
And then you proceeded to gaslight me with your convicted felon, quote, advocate? Minister? Minister of what? Minister irrelevant? Minister of bullshit? How about minister?
He says, how about minister of FU? But I ain't trying to get demonetized. We ain't reached the $5. We ain't got the $5 super chat yet, so don't demonetization.
Don't become kicking rocks in my backyard. Look in your own. The display of adults on the internet. If your children saw how you acted, would you be proud?
Listen, hell no. They embarrassed all black people, in my opinion. Like, Jeff Metcalf may be old, but I understand, like, you can get a lot of game and wisdom from old people. It don't matter their color. He's telling them what's right that older black people didn't have the balls to tell them. And see, back in the day, there used to be the old folks who would come to you and be like, now, baby, you out here making a fool out yourself. No, you need to. I remember I was watching an episode of the First 48, right? And this little YN, this young scholar, he had killed somebody. And after he admitted to it, you know, they let his granny come in to talk to him. And he hugging on his granny, clutching on her, crying, you know. He go back to being, you know, they go back to being a baby once they realize they're about to go to the big house. And the granny hugged him for about 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes was up, the granny was like, okay, you can go ahead and let me go now. Because I got to go where I got to go and you got to go where you got to go. See, that's back in the day when it was old folks who spoke wisdom, right? She from the old school. Yeah, you sitting up here hugging and clutching on me, but I can't go with you. Just like I couldn't go with you to go kill or to go steal. But now you want to clutch with me. You don't want to let me go. But when I told you to stay your ass in the house and don't be out there running the streets, you didn't want to listen. Granny told his ass straight up, you can let me go now because I got to go where I got to go and you got to go where you got to go. See, the problem with the Karmelo Anthony parents, they don't have anybody around them who can give them sound advice. That woman ain't got nobody, no women around her worth a damn. And that guy, that Gumby looking fool, he ain't got nobody around him worth a damn.
Or is that what you teach them? Do you teach them that racism is okay? Do you teach them? Do you program your kids to hate? To kill? From day one, I said this was never about race.
He did say that.
Please don't make it about race and don't politicize it. And what did you do? You chose both. The race card, black fatigue, it's real. I'm sorry.
No, you ain't got to be sorry. Black fatigue is real. I got it. I'm tired of looking on the internet, looking at black folks acting a fool. But what pisses me off more is seeing other black people who know better, who would never do the things that they defend on the internet in their own personal life. If I'm not going to rob no bank, I ain't going to sit up and make excuses for no black man robbing a bank. I have a friend who went to jail and did 11 years for robbing a bank in Virginia. He said, but Conrad, this. I said, nigga, you were wrong. You shouldn't have did it and you got what you did. But you don't understand how they treated me in jail, family. You got every ounce of treatment you needed because them treating you like that in jail is the one thing that's keeping your ass out of jail now. See, you a hard-headed nigga. If they would have just let you serve your time in minimum security, you would have got out and went right back. I believe that what people get is what they had coming to them. Some people call it karma. Some people call it whatever else. But how else can you explain the condition of black folks? I believe there's a such thing as karmic debt. I do believe that the universe balances things out. I do believe that. And I believe the murderous mindset of black people collectively is like a curse to us. And things like this situation right here, I think they compound that curse. These people lost their damn son. How you just gonna dismiss what happened to them in the name of trying to defend some damn pookie? And his no good ass mama. I don't care if he was a kid. I was 2 years old and knew that a knife is sharp and could hurt somebody. My we probably should have been doing this, but my granny said, hey, go bring me that knife over there. And when you carry it, hold it up over your head. And we'd be walking around with the knife over our head so we couldn't fall and stab ourselves or hurt ourselves. If we were 6 and 5 years old and knew the damage that a knife could do, you telling me this big old 17-year-old boy, this man didn't know what could happen? Bro, even if you cut him, I watched a million knife fights. I watched the Michael Jackson Beat It video. They held in hands and they, they do they shit. Wait, let me make myself bigger so I can see. They do that. Did you see any of them grab that bitch like this? Because you can't stab nobody in the heart like that. He killed bro like a vampire. Bro was Michael Myers. That ain't no damn accident. That was intentionally done. You don't accidentally kill nobody with a knife like that. Now, if you swiping that hole and it hit the artery, I get it. Bro drove that knife into his chest. I want you to understand that. There was no way that was not intentional. You don't accidentally drive a knife into someone's heart, just like you don't accidentally drive a stake into the heart of Dracula. It is a very intentional thing. Buddy Yeti. Late, but as the geezers say, better late than never. Keep preaching the truth, Brandon. This should be a teachable moment for all you. Man, I got heifers on Facebook talking about, this girl was like, my son asked me why the boy had a knife at school. And she said she told her 13-year-old son, well, why wouldn't he? White folks are racist and they want to kill us. I said, what? I'm telling y'all, fathers, if y'all got having sons with these women, don't abandon your kid, man. Don't abandon your kid. You know who you laid up in and skeeted in. You know she dumb as a box of rocks. She gonna have your son out here either killing or switching. She gonna have him out here killing or gobbling. He either gonna be out here murdering people or wearing a skirt, walking around switching. Stay in your kid's life, man. Stay in your kids. And I don't mean just like on birthdays. Every day. Be a daddy every day. Because if you don't.
You have embarrassed your own culture and race. Don't get me wrong. We got a lot of people that embarrass the shit out of me too. But you guys, you got a patent on that shit. And the only people that's going to change it are you. Don't blame the white person because we can't change it. But you're going to blame the white person for every fucking thing else. I'm going to tell you right now. Charleston White, you think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing. Drew Anthony,
Hey.
You're a pussy and a coward, and you raised one.
Damn, he called Karmelo.
Kayla, you drunk bitch. What'd you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you?
Bro, I'm telling you, Jeff Metcalf is hitting it all on the head, bro. This is something deeper than whatever. This whole situation is deeper than anything that happened today at that park. I mean, at that event. This goes way beyond that. And black women The queens are like, something else is going on. You know, black women, there's always something else going on with them. They don't never accept shit at face value. Why can't they apply that same level of intuition, quote unquote, to the Carmelo Anthony situation? There was something going on at home. Ain't that the question? Is there something going on at home? In this situation, nah, it's just all racism. All racism and white supremacy. Right? So the whole thing is, I'm looking up a statistic. So look, to drive, this is something I looked up that I was curious about. You need 2 pounds of pressure with a sharp object, right? So say you got a sharp object. Let's pretend that this brush is a sharp object. We doing demonstration time, and we about to get into the interview of the Ignatz, his parents. So say this is a sharp object. To drive a sharp object, a knife with a point, through your skin, you need 2 pounds of pressure to do that, right? You need 2 pounds of pressure to drive a sharp object through skin. Your skin has a resistance of about 2 pounds of pressure. Its resistance is about 100 psi or 2.2 pounds of pressure, right? Now, once you get through the skin, right, your organs, your bone, organ, and all that, you need almost 10 pounds of pressure to drive a knife through the heart of a person, because it has to go through skin, bone, dense tissue that encases your chest plate to get all the way to the heart. And if your knife is only 3 inches, you have to drive it with significantly more force into the chest to reach the heart to stab them. Y'all, this is not like, there's nothing. They didn't need to go into these details, but I'm telling you, you could have dragged this case out for a year. And if they really would have broke this down bit by bit, Karmelo might have got the death penalty. I'm not going to lie to you. The expedience of the case saved that dude's life. You don't got to believe me. It takes 10 pounds of pressure to drive a 3-inch knife through somebody's heart. And you're telling me that shit was an accident? You're telling me that's what he had to... Bro, if you got a knife and you just slash somebody, they're going to back up off you. People in New York, they got the razor blade under their tongue, getting people up off them with a thin-ass razor blade. You got a whole knife. You just swing that hoe. Nobody running up on you. If you pull out a knife, what is someone who doesn't have a knife going to do? Whoa, 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 whoa. I ain't trying to get cut. That means Karmelo pulled that knife out while simultaneously moving forward and driving that knife through the heart of Austin Metcalf. Bro's a murderer. I wouldn't be surprised if bro watched that shit on TV or on YouTube several times. You could do a lot of shit, Tinkzilla. I'm sure they have a way if they really wanted to. 99 years, same thing. It's crazy. We the only race that can't stick together. No, we're the only race who doesn't want to accept facts. I don't mind coming together under the banner of truth, but I will not unify with you based on a lie. Because if I have to give my life, I don't want it to ever be said, yo, bro gave his life up. You know what I'm saying? Over a stupid, ignorant lie or a dishonest narrative. You got to be absolutely stupid. I got kids to think about. You do what you want to do. Why'd your daddy die? Your daddy died because he's a goddamn liar. Won't be my kids. Will not be my kids. So, guys, are we getting the last $5 super chat so we can get that link put in so y'all can come and talk y'all mess? Or are you guys just happy to listen to me talk? Because I could keep on going. All right, guys, it's time to go. We're going past the point of no return. We're in it now. The live is officially started. We now have to react to the interview of the Ignorance. Viewer discretion is advised. The Ignorance.
After the trial, Karmelo Anthony's parents, Andrew Anthony and Kayla Hayes, sat down to break their silence and to let the world know how they're feeling as their son begins his 35-year sentence for murder. Despite what a jury found, his parents dispute their son ever wanted to kill Austin Metcalf.
My son is no murderer. My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself. And that's what hurt so bad.
His mother recounts the moment she addressed the jury and made her plea to them during the sentencing phase.
To have mercy on my son. That's what I told the jury. I know they had their minds made up already. So, I mean, really wasn't much I could say to change their mind.
Bruh, the same mercy that your son had on Austin Metcalf, the same mercy that you guys are having on his family, as you continue to gaslight them and make yourselves out to be the victim? Hell no. Hell no. This lady, bro, this weave must be attached to her brain or something because she sounded dumb as hell.
Both parents fighting back emotions and tears as they described what they believe was a flawed trial.
We were delusional. We thought we was going to get a fair shake.
They claimed there were inconsistencies from the get-go, despite witnesses who took an oath vowing to tell the truth.
Everyone actually lied on the stand.
Everyone.
All of the witnesses' statements were inconsistent. All of them.
Bro, I already done told y'all earlier, they had 23andMe. They had all 23 witnesses plus me. 23andMe saying that their son was in the room. We weren't there, but all 23 people who were there are wrong. Do you realize how ignorant you have to be to actually entertain this type of mindset? We weren't there, but all 23 people who were there, plus Brandon over in Long Beach, California, they all wrong. But we right. These people are stupid, man. Gumby and his girlfriend are dumb.
Father says the court of public opinion had made up their mind about his son long before the trial began.
He was convicted when he walked out of the jail. If you looked at the news all last year, he was already convicted. If you look at it, it was already done. It was no innocent until proven guilty. He was already guilty.
He says the threats of violence against them continue.
People want us dead. That's what.
After they still got what they wanted.
After they still got what they want, they still want us dead.
No, your son wanted Austin Metcalf dead. That is why Austin Metcalf is the only one who is dead. Isn't it funny how the killers are like, people want us dead? No, you're the only group who are murderous. You are the only ones defending a murderer, trying to convince us that the murderer is actually the victim. Those people are good people. Them good white folk. And y'all just some bloodthirsty black people.
So you see, I go look at my phone, people want us dead. They want our family dead.
And now they're preparing to appeal.
They did a number on us.
A judicial process they believe wronged them.
We didn't get justice. A lot of things that were missed that should have been handled a certain way. However, we couldn't say anything. We did what was instructed. We was told, so we just did what we was told.
Ken Molestina, CBS News, Texas.
Man, zero remorse, zero, accountability. They just on the same path, man. They just on the same path. Like, I think you can actually appeal a sentence. Like, can we reduce it from 35 years to 20 or something? That's what I'll be going for. That is what I would be going for. They're saying now, though, that this boy is being placed. Which one should I go after first? I want to talk about how this dude is now broke and begging for money. But I want to use the right I don't know which one I should use. Hold on. I'm trying to get Karmelo Anthony. Because now, after that, they're appealing. But they're saying that they need more money. We need money for the appeal. So you had a free attorney, right? But you're still saying you need more money. The money been gone. Let's just use this one. We'll use these clips right here, y'all. Y'all in the building. Shout out to all y'all. Hey, it's 211 people in here. Hit the like button. And it's good to have y'all. Subscribe. You won't be disappointed on this channel. You will actually be glad that you found this channel. I used to have a lot of viewers every time, 300. But then we had a war because they wanted to keep on. They wanted me to lie for them and lie to them. And I said no. So they abandoned me. So I hope everyone here is a lover of truth because that's all we speak on this channel. Let's go.
There isn't a black American on earth that is surprised by what just happened to Karmelo Anthony. In a stand your ground state while standing his ground. Not one black face in that jury box, not one peer, not one person who has...
This girl thinks she's a Black Panther. And I want y'all to notice how black folks, they love using the imagery of like the Panthers and stuff. But don't even know the history of the Black Panthers. Those socialist, communist bastards. Just out here trying to use certain imagery to provoke a certain... God, dog it. Did y'all see this? Hold up. Wait a minute. Dang, I'm trying to get it right on them. Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on. The Lord is working with me. Don't be patient. Be long suffering. Because when y'all see what I'm about to show y'all, y'all gonna be laughing. Dog it. Hold on. I'm trying to zoom in on this. Oh, God. You know what? I take that back. I take back everything I just said about this girl. She might actually be a Panther. Look at these teeth. Jesus fucking Christ. Look at these fucking teeth. My daughter saw it up on the TV. She's like, "Oh, you know what? You know what? Forgive us. We don't know your animal ancestry." She might be a panther, bruh. She might have that wolf in her. These damn teeth, baby. The white man introduced you to dentistry. You should use it. Stop hating on them. Stop hating on them, baby. These teeth are crazy. These teeth are cooked. Woo. Woo, get them away from my Johnson. That is the one time, no thank you, baby. God, dog. Ooh, she got to wear a mouthpiece. She got to wear a mouthpiece. Oh, shit. She might just be a panther. Lord have... She has teeth like a Klingon off of Star Trek. She doesn't even need that part of the makeup. The teeth are seated like they're at the Hollywood Bowl. Her teeth look like the Staples Center. It ain't even the Staples Center no more. Okay, let me stop cracking on this lady. Damn, bro, these teeth. Woo, shit. Ah, Jesus, she win. Whatever she won't, give it to her. Woo, Cleon. Oh, Lieutenant Wharfhead ass. Woo, my God.
and your ground state while standing his ground. Not one black face in that jury box, not one peer, not one person who has ever navigated this country in melanated skin. And if you think that doesn't matter, then you haven't been paying attention to the last 400 years of American history. Because you
Yeah. Why did he bring a knife to school? To me, it was premeditated murder.
don't want to. This is not new. This is the system working exactly as it was designed. The reason this keeps happening, the reason we keep standing at these grave sites, at these courthouses, at these press conferences,
because people like Karmelo Anthony keep bringing knives to school.
with tears and signs and hashtags is because Black America doesn't have any collective political or economic power. When you don't control the legislation, when you don't control who sits on the bench and who draws the jury pool, your outrage, however righteous, does not move this racist machine. Liberation has never been given. It has always been taken. And until Black America builds the kind of consolidated economic and political power that makes the cost of this oppression too high to sustain, we will keep seating all white juries. They will keep shooting us in the back or in our...
She's just purposely ignoring the facts of the case. And this is the part of Black quote unquote liberation that's scary for me. So if I side with the black folk, my folk, skin folk, that means, and say we do somehow create our own society, that means that I will live in a society where justice is arbitrary, where there's no real like standard of justice. Guilt and innocence is determined on a arbitrary basis, a selective process. Okay, I like this guy because he makes the bomb gumbo, so he's innocent. I don't like this guy because he stepped on my shoe last week, so he's guilty. This is the type of world Black people want to live in. Like, ignorance, though. Not all Black people, ignorance. And if you go to a place like Africa, you will see that those countries are suffering because for a long time they were ruled by these types of systems where everything was just done on a whim of preference. There was no standard set. If I stab a man in his heart in California and kill him, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to jail for a long time. If I stab a man in his heart and kill him in Texas, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go to jail for a long time. The general response to these types of acts is the same no matter where you are, right? Circumstances play a role, but the role is not as significant as we might think. This woman and Black people on the internet defending Karmelo Anthony, they want a system where guilt and innocence is determined by the peanut gallery, by the mob, how the public feels about it that day. Emotions will rule. Do you realize what type of chaos would prevail in a Black a nation made up of only Black Americans? See, because you have the Black Americans who are trying to do things the right way, but you would have an army of ignorance trying to kill them so that they could rule the nation based on emotion. And if they ever were to get right, they would arrive at the same conclusion that the people they're trying to eradicate arrived at a long time ago. See, that's called lawlessness, where there is no law. The only law is the law of the heart, the law of emotion. In every society in history that has ever been ruled like that, either collapsed under the weight of its own ignorance or it was easily conquered by other nations. This is how the Greek city-states were conquered by the Persians and then later on conquered by the Romans because they just couldn't get their emotions under control. Vengeance and blood feuds, and I'm mad because 300 years ago you killed my cousin. They were more worried about fighting with each other than fighting against the common enemy. Same as the black community.
Beds while we sleep. They will keep saying they feared for their lives after they do it. Black folks, I need you to stop calling it a boycott. We're not boycotting anything. You need to circulate the black dollar forever for our economic power. It's not a boycott. It's a replacement. We will circulate the black dollar. We will build an infrastructure. We will govern ourselves because we have no choice. This
right.
pathetic.
Yeah, right.
A white person to hit a black boy and hit a white man.
That's it.
Yeah. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
They send a message. Yeah.
We love y'all.
It ain't the end of the road.
We love y'all. Y'all done became my family too. Y'all done brought us too.
You did a good job.
Moments ago, Texas teen Karmelo Anthony plans to appeal his murder conviction in the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet last year when they were both 17 years old. The jury sentenced him to 35 years in prison. Metcalf's father, Jeff, giving an emotional victim impact statement during the sentencing hearing. Quote, "The public response sickens me, especially when a gag order doesn't allow me to defend my son. This was never about race or politics, but what you did was to choose to make it about both. We all bleed the same color. You are free to make choices all your life, but you are not free to not face consequences." Correspondent Brooke Taylor reporting live from McKinney, Texas with the latest. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Martha. We just got word that Anthony's legal team has filed that notice of appeal, but just seconds ago, we wrapped up an interview with the district attorney and the lead prosecutor on the case. I could tell you they are extremely confident with the verdict here. There was no cameras in the courtroom, so it's our first time really hearing from them. Take a listen to what they told me their reaction was.
Just relief. Relief that 12 members of our community, the jurors, saw it the same way we did. That this was murder, plain and simple, and then they saw punishment like we saw it, that he needed a lengthy prison sentence.
I was relieved. I thought it would be murder, but until you hear it, of course, a jury can do whatever they want as long as they're following the law. So I was relieved for the family, mostly.
And the jury sentenced Karmelo Anthony to 35 years behind bars for fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf during a high school track meet. Both the DA and lead prosecutor told me they were satisfied with the sentence, even though Anthony faced up to 99 years behind bars. They also said that they were prepared for Anthony to take the stand, and they hoped that he would. Now, I asked what they believed the strongest piece of evidence here was. They both pointed to the surveillance footage, despite being grainy and shot across the field. They said it reinforced their argument that Anthony wasn't surrounded and this was a one-on-one confrontation despite the defense's self-defense claim. Now, the lead prosecutor told me the national spotlight, it definitely added pressure, but he said they had to tune out that noise, and some of that noise played out in the courtroom. Martha, he told me that race was certainly not a factor, and have people actually pay attention closely to this case and hear what the witnesses had to say, they would know that.
People don't even have to pay attention closely. All people have to do is say, what would I want done if that was my kid who got killed? That's it. There's not a black person in America who, if that was their kid, black, white, blue, or green, and Karmelo pulled out a knife and stabbed him through the heart with over 10 pounds of pressure, who wouldn't have said, I want this kid to spend the rest of his life in jail? There's not a one. If you just remove race from the situation, no parent is going to just say, oh, he killed my son, that's cool, let him go. He was defending himself. Because when I send my kid to her sporting events, I don't expect for there to be people with weapons there. As a matter of fact, you see police officers and everybody else outside at sporting events for the purpose of keeping people out of those events with weapons. But this is an athlete who snuck a weapon into the event and then used that weapon to kill somebody. Like I said before, you don't just casually drive a knife into the heart of someone. That takes intent. I was watching the Ed Gein. Y'all watch the Ed Gein? The monster, the killer? Bro, they were talking about how you saw bodies and stuff like that. To penetrate, pause, a human body in a place that's not, in an area that's not designed for that is a very difficult thing to do. And I think Karmelo is a sociopath. I think Karmelo is like Michael Myers. And I believe that Karmelo Anthony has serial killer-like strength and a mindset like that. And that is what allowed him to inflict such a mortal wound upon Austin Metcalf.
Yeah, see that you heard that, okay?
My boy Greg is in the book. But it's, I'm being real though. Like what is this? What is it here? People are so damn ignorant. So now black folks is saying bro gonna win the appeal.
The actual court. But at the end of the day, I think it was a huge problem from the beginning of this case.
Karmelo Anthony will still be proven not guilty on appeal, and here's why. So there's a lot of speculation on my last video. People wanted Karmelo to be convicted just because of his skin color and their feelings. But what the law reads and the law states is different than what people feel and what people see and what people trying to make it out of race motivated. So here's why he will win on appeal. So if you was actually watching the trial and you know the law, you know he will be granted an appeal and his ruling will be overturned instantly once they review the transcripts from the trial. One of the main reasons he will win his trial is because the prosecutor brought multiple lay witnesses on the stand, and after cross-examining them and after questioning them, the prosecutor asked them, do you think this is self-defense? And guess what they said every time? No, I do not think this is self-defense. I think he is guilty. You can't do that. And the defense team had to be working with the prosecutors and the family, because if I was on the defense team and I was Karmelo's lawyer, I would have said, objection, Your Honor, that is an impermissible question. That is leading the jury. That is persuading the jury. A lay witness cannot answer a question deciding the verdict or they cannot give their opinion on the verdict, and the jury cannot hear that, which could cause the jury to be persuaded. Because if you got a lay witness who witnessed the crime, and they say, oh, I don't think it's self-defense, only an expert that is in law can answer that type of question. A lay witness who is not an expert in anything cannot answer a question deciding the verdict in the guilt of the suspect. The jury cannot hear that. That is an impermissible question. That the defense team should have said, objection, Your Honor, that is an impermissible question, which is leading the jury to persuasion. That's why he will win his appeal almost instantly, because the jury can hear multiple lay witnesses get on the stand and say, oh, I don't think this is self-defense. You're not an expert in law. You don't know what self-defense is. You don't know what the law is on self-defense. You a high school student. How can you know this?
So we now have a sentence. Is there grounds for an appeal as we look forward to the next steps in this case for Karmelo?
The first is, are we in the right county? All
right, so look. What that dude said would make sense to someone who's absolutely stupid, right? And let me tell you why. Why would you object to an answer given by a witness that you not only selected, but you called to the stand? All those people were brought up by the defense. All those people weren't brought up by the prosecution. All those people were brought up by the defense. Why would they object to the statements of their own witness? If that's the case, the jury will look at them like, well, y'all brought them up here. Now y'all objecting to what they're saying? So you guys put these people on the stand hoping that we would believe what they say because you believe what they were going to say was going to go in your favor. Now that they're telling their true opinion, all of a sudden they're not credible, so objection. And on top of that, the jury actually determines whether or not what they say will be, permissible or if it is considered helpful, right? Now, I looked it up too. So I'll show y'all why that guy's an idiot. Okay, so here we go. Can a witness give their opinion on guilt or innocence? No, neither a lay witness nor an expert witness can give their opinion on the guilt or innocence of a defendant. The determination belongs exclusively to the jury, and such testimony is generally excluded because a witness's personal opinion is not considered helpful in deciding that ultimate issue. It is improper for any witness or expert to comment on the credibility of another person or provide an opinion on guilt, as jurors are the sole judges of credibility and fact-finding. While witnesses cannot vouch for truthfulness regarding guilt, a police officer may testify about their perception of whether a defendant was being truthful during an investigation, provided they do not conclude the defendant is guilty. Defendant's testimony. A defendant has the constitutional right not to testify, blah, blah, blah. So the guy is right in what he's saying, that they're technically not supposed to do that. But at the end of the day, if the defense doesn't object, which I don't see why they would, since they brought those people up there, then the judge is just, all right, let it ride. And on top of that, if they quickly say, I think he's guilty, that's already in the jury's mind. You could say, ignore that, disregard that last statement, but it's already in their mind. But this was pretty much an open and shut case. I don't think Karmelo's public defender was trying to miss lunch or hit traffic on the way home, objecting to certain things. But this is what you get when you blow all your damn money and you get the bullshit representation. Let's read this, guys, before we get... wait. I promise I'll put the link in the comments. All right, if you have an opinion, you want to come up here and give me your thoughts, the link is in the comments. Click it, come up. I'll give you a minute to just share what you think. Let me finish this off with the facts of the matter. Karmelo Anthony is broke, now asking and begging for a court-appointed public defender. News Nation has the article. So here we go. One day after being convicted of the murder of fellow track athlete Austin Metcalf, Texas teen Karmelo Anthony filed a notice of appeal and asked the court to appoint an attorney to represent him, saying he cannot afford one. So money gone. Money is gone. Anthony was sentenced to 35 years in prison after a jury found him guilty of fatally stabbing Metcalf during an April 2025 school track meet in Frisco, Texas, following an argument. The teen filed an indigency packet, which states he is eligible for state-appointed legal counsel due to financial hardship, according to WFAA. In the filing, he described himself as penniless, destitute, and indigent person, too poor to employ counsel to represent me on the appeal, the outlet reported. This is just disgusting. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This more than anything pisses me the hell off that folks didn't send all these hundreds of thousands of dollars to these folks, and they still couldn't find it in their heart to get their own damn son some legitimate representation. But it also proves that the whole thing with this being that them believing that these people are racist is a lie. Because why would I trust a racist to appoint my son an attorney? The attorney could be racist, especially on his appeal, which is like his last chance. They blew that boy money. And let me tell you something. Bro got him a little Mexican girlfriend. While he had a little bit of fatty in his pocket, Holmes. And she helped him spend that shit while he was rolling around in his Cadillac truck with the spinning wheels and the custom cooler headrest with the Hennessy inside of it. And he just had a little party. He had a little fiesta for a year until he ultimately had to go to trial and pay the price. And I hope he enjoyed it. But guys, more than I hope Karmelo enjoyed his time in the sun before he went to the bowels of the prison system. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Thank you so much for watching this. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not already, of course. And do me a favor. Until the next time, until we meet again, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, please take care of each other. Peace.